Want to score top marks in directed writing for O-level language 1123? Whether it's a report, letter, or article, this is your ultimate step-by-step guide to mastering every format and writing like a pro. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here again with a video to ace an A static in your directed writing question of P2. This guide will equip you with essential strategies to excel in the directed writing task for O-level language 1123. I'll cover everything from understanding the prompt to polishing your final draft, ensuring you'll achieve top marks. First of all, you need to understand what is directed writing task and what the examiner is expecting from you. The directed writing task assess your ability to write for a specific audience, purpose, and format. You will be given a scenario and several prompts to address, often requiring different registers. Examiners look for clarity, coherence, linguistic accuracy, and effective use of appropriate vocabulary and grammar. Adherence to the specified genre convention is also crucial. In directed writing question, you are expected to write letters, either formal or informal, maybe report, articles, speeches, or even diary entries. Each format has its own conventions that you must master to score well. Familiarize yourself with the various types of directed writing tasks and their specific requirements to ensure you are well prepared for the examination. It's all about understanding the prompt and responding clearly and accurately, and of course appropriately. Common formats include, as I have mentioned earlier as well, but before writing, ask who is my audience. For example, that means who's your audience? What is the purpose? And what's the required format? This guides your tone, structure, and vocabulary. Think of this step as decoding the question to unlock a perfect answer. Please, this is the basic of your directed writing question. Identify the audience, determine the purpose, and note the format. For example, you are writing a formal letter, so that means your audience is someone on the higher position. If you're writing informal letter, that means your audience is your friend or maybe your distant relative. If it's a report, then that must be for a newspaper. Language has to be very formal. And if it's a speech, it has to cover the masses and it has to be according to the masses, your audiences you are catering in that speech, right? So each format has specific conventions for opening, body, and closing. The power of planning, brainstorming, and structuring your response. So this is a diagram, a graphic form of making a situation of your directed writing question. Jot down key ideas, organize them into a clear outline, assign each main point to a paragraph. Planning saves times and improves the flow. So first you have to start with the brainstorming ideas. What are the relevant points and keywords that you can relate to the prompt that is given to you? Time management. You will be given only 1 hour to decode your text A and text B, to adhere to the prompt and write down the answer of the directed writing question. Outline your content. Organize your brainstorm points into a logical flow, typically following the order of the given prompts. So your content that you are writing in a directed writing question should be adhered to the text A and text B. There is a relation between between both the things you are writing and the reading. Assign each main point to a specific paragraph to ensure a clear and organized structure. There is one thing I want to especially clear out for the student, that they think that they cannot make various paragraphs. Of course you can make, and there is no need of the measurement and the length of the paragraph has to be same. There is no religiously format that is given by the CIAs that you have to be in the same format and you have to follow the same length of the paragraph. So it's not like that. One paragraph would be of 5 lines, other paragraph would be of 3 lines as well. the length of the paragraphs varies. But this is a crucial step of jotting down the point and brainstorming and management of time. Don't skip that. This is basically a roadmap for you. Crafting an impactful introduction, setting the right tone and context. Hook the reader. Start with a sentence that grabs attention and relates directly to the prompt's scenario. Very important. If you are failed to grab the attention of your examiner in the hook line or the topic sentence, trust me, reader or examiner will ultimately lose their trust. It's all about how you are being catchy with your starting or the beginning of the paragraph or the writing. So please hook the reader. State your purpose. Clearly state the main aim of your writing, whether it's to inform, persuade, or express. Establish the tone. Ensure your opening lines immediately reflect the appropriate tone and register for your audience. For example, you are starting with a formal letter, so of course you won't be starting with hi, how are you, what's up. You won't be. So you need to be according to the audience or the reader of your context. If it's a speech, so of course you will be starting with a salutation and greetings. But if you're writing an article or a magazine article, you won't be starting with any salutation or any greeting. So please understand the tone and the purpose of your writing. Developing your content and incorporating all given points effectively. So address all points. You have to ensure that every point mentioned in the prompt is addressed clearly and comprehensively. Please make a checklist. Elaborate and explain. Don't just list points, expand on them with detailed explanations relevant to the scenario. Add specific details. Inject concrete names, dates, places, or events to make your writing more convincing and realistic. Okay, this third point mainly refers to the article writing of the newspaper, that you are referring to the dates, places, and the names that are given in the text. Maintain the cohesion. Use transition words and phrases to link ideas smoothly between and within the paragraphs. Please be relevant with the connection of the ideas. Mastering language and register formal, informal, and persuasive techniques. You have to use formal tone for reports and official letters, informal tone for personal letters or diaries, and persuasive language for speeches. Match the language to the format of for talk marks. Right? So formal register, you have to set the tone of your writing. Use complex sentences, precise vocabulary, and avoid contractions, ideal for reports, formal letters, and official communication. Informal has to be, of course, it has to be a direct address, and it has to be friendly or tone to whom you are connecting with that contact. Employ rhetorical questions, emotive language, and strong verbs to sway your readers, essential for speeches or argumentative articles. Ensuring cohesion and coherence, linking ideas for a smooth flow. Cohesion and coherence are vital for writing to be easily understood and logically constructed. Transition words, use words like furthermore, however, consequently, and understood to connect ideas smoothly. And it is highly recommended that you are starting your paragraphs, a new paragraph with these connecting words with these transition words. It will be effective for the reader and for writing as well. Paragraph lengthening. Ensure each paragraph logically follows the previous one, building on the ideas presented and consistent theme. Maintain a consistent tone and theme and the argument throughout your writing to avoid confusing the reader. If you are following one theme or one tone on your letter, in your speech, in your whatever you are having, then you have to maintain that throughout your writing. You cannot change your tone and the vocabulary you are using. If you are going with very formal vocabulary, you have to continue with the formal one. And if you are starting with stating with an informal writing, you have to be informal with the vocabulary and tone throughout the context you are writing. Writing a strong conclusion, summarizing and leaving a lasting impression. Summarize your key points always. Whatever main arguments or points you have made in the body, don't jump to a new argument without concluding the first one. Reinforce your purpose, remind the reader that overall aim of your writing linking back to your introduction. Depending on the prompt, you might include a call to action, a recommendation, or throw a provoking final statement to your and always restate the purpose. If I summarize this whole in my words, that summarize the main points and make finish with a lasting thought or a call to action. Make your conclusion clear and impactful, and don't jump for a new idea or new argument without concluding the previous one. Final review and practice, polishing your work for top marks. The final stage is crucial for perfecting your response and maximizing your scores. Always proofread. Stick to the word count. Check you have answered every part of the question, and most importantly, practice consistently. This is a checklist for you. You have to proofread, you have to review the word count, and you have to check the prompt again, either the context you were following in your delicate writing answer, it is related to the prompt. You are not going out of the boundaries in your writing. And consistent practice reading, and practice. Regularly practice writing different types of delicate writing tasks to improve speed and quality. This is all about acing and A-starring in your delicate writing question of 1123. Either it's your letter, it's your email, it's your speech, it's your magazine article, it's your article, whatever the prompt you are and question you are receiving in your examination, this guide must be helpful for you. And if this guide helped you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more smart English strategies. Comment your doubts below. I'm here to help you succeed in O-level language. Follow for more.